and click on live.
Brother, this guy stinks!
That's why it's so big. So there's enough to go around. Did it work that time?
Yep.
You would have to put that laugh in there, huh?
That's what made it.
Hey, hello, Miss Lake, Harvest Merry Moon, White Life. Happy birthday.
Yeah, happy
And
birthday.
I'm twice your age, by the way. Plus, Harvest Merry Moon, a copycat. I'm glad you ain't gonna bring up the jalapeno jelly tonight.
Ooh, I used to see my jalapenos. I went out there to water. My plants are small, but there's jalapenos up all over the place. Just little bitty ones, but
Well, now I talked to my brother right before I come on the show, and he said he's having problems with his Carolina Reapers. The flowers are falling off.
oh,
And
tell them sprinkle some Epsom salt.
he does. Matter of
Okay.
fact, he's one that told me to do it.
Yeah, it usually helps a lot. They usually go crazy after you do that. Oh,
Uh, so I've got out of 15, out of 14 German Johnsons that I planted, I think I got about 8 left.
oh
This
wow.
heat is
Oh
killed
yeah.
bad,
Yeah.
you know.
And you
So
plant in the ground too,
I done
right?
what?
You plant in the ground, don't you?
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
raised? Okay.
Well, now the plants I got, they was already about between 2 and 3 inches tall. You
Oh
know,
yeah.
and I went out there and dug a hole and put them in there. Cause hello, Shanoa, how you doing? Shift kicker, Sissy May. I'm gonna wait till a few more people come up on here.
I went to Walmart today because I had to get a case for my phone because better to get them cases that way you don't break your phone. And so I put it on my um, for my notification. I put this sound.
Really?
So
You went
anytime somebody messages me or I get a notification, there's a fart comes out, and I'm walking walking through Walmart, and I guess Trust and TH2 were having a conversation, and every time, and people looking at me like, and I'm walking through there, and farts are going left and right. And I because there were so many different cases, and I handed the guy my phone. I said I need to get a case for this. And as soon as I handed it to him, and he said, "Oh, that's an interesting notification sound."
I've
And as he's walking over to the cases, he bends down and it goes off again. Oh,
I wish I
I
was
think
standing
I think I'll leave that notification on there.
there. There you go. Oh, just wait till you get in the restaurant. Just lean to the side and raise up a leg.
Hey,
TJ,
TJ.
how are you doing this afternoon, lady?
Vermont preppers in here too.
Is he? She?
Harvest Mary Moon
Yep.
and the bot killer, shift kicker.
Thank you. Oh, well, I do want to say for all, wait a minute, I got to think of the name of it. Hang on. For all of my mods, I highly thank y'all for the work that y'all done. There are some of the best mods around that I know of. Chef Kicker, you dead on it. I tell you that. TJ, would you like to have an invite to come up, or do you need to get your hair straight? See, look at mine. Okay. Me and Bushcraft was talking in the back room before we come on air. And he said he had a little bit of news that he was wanting to share. So I'm going to let Bushcraft have the floor. So,
Well, it's not so much news, but there's kind of a trend going for this that I haven't heard anybody talk about. But say this all hypothetical and all that stuff, but say you have this one country. It's a pretty good sized country, but it's not like a number one country. It's a good sized country. Now they're trying to think of ways that they can even the play field, because this country is not part of a community countries, so to speak. So this country decides what they're going to do. They're going to go and attack a smaller country that's next to them, and this is going to make these other bigger countries that are all grouped together send them a bunch of money and a lot of their weaponry, like tanks and missiles and anti-aircraft, all that stuff. They're going to send it to this little small country to fend off the bigger one. So what they end up doing is attacking the smaller country to get all these other ones to start using all their resources, all their money, and all their military weaponry and stuff like that. And that this country would be Russia. Now, wouldn't that be an easy way of making other countries like us, the UK, Germany, all these other countries have been sending all their military weaponry and stuff. Some things that take years and years to reproduce. Now we're using all this stuff up and all of our money up to help this small country, to find out that now this other country has the upper hand on us. And there's a lot of other things that kind of go on with this. Russia right now is not using that much. They're using some of their older tanks and things. They're not using their new stuff. They're not using a lot of the new weaponry and stuff like this to fight Ukraine. So to me, I mean, it doesn't seem too far off from what this could be. And they've already said, like UK has sent them so much stuff that their military is now behind years in some parts that they're so far back it will take them 8 to 10 years to replace the stuff. So I mean, is it just a coincidence that and the same thing with us? We have it's not like we can just start up a machine and pump out tanks. Look how much those javelin things cost. It's just not like it's a couple $100.
I don't know what this world has got. About like what life says, you know, it ain't no coincidence. It's all planned.
Mm-hmm.
It
And look at what we left behind in Afghanistan. I know probably 30-40% of that was junk. But there was a lot, I mean, thousands of rounds of ammo and helicopters and that stuff you just don't flip a machine on and it pops out a brand new Black Hawk helicopter. It takes a long time to make that stuff.
It does.
It's not like making a Corvette come through a line. They make all the little parts and everything, and they have to assemble all that, and guess what? We're having a shortage of metals and stuff now. And you stop and think about, because Russia might be losing a lot of their army, but they have one of the biggest armies. They can lose 100,000 people and still be very strong. I mean, look at the vast size of Russia and the population.
Yeah, but losing 100,000 people, in my opinion, that's kind of weakening your defense. Also,
Well, they don't need to be a defense though.
well,
See if they say they cut UK, because say something happens and UK gets into and they end up start a war with UK. Guess who's going to come to their aid?
how many guesses do I get?
One. If that's the case, then we get into it, and we already gave away half of our stock, basically, of things. And there was something just came in, not just a little bit ago. Russia has just they have 15,000 servicemen going in as we speak, and that's one of the biggest numbers that they've had in. that they deployed, I guess you would say it. So they're going in to shut things down, I guess you would say, because they just as far as I know, they took heavy losses. So they're actually sending 15,000 more men in to replace, I think, a few hundred.
Damn.
So, like I said, it's not like us. If we lost a big amount, our people, citizens would be outraged at something like that. Putin don't give a crap. He'll just keep sending them in.
Well, still, there's something behind that we're not
Yeah.
being told. And I kind of the other night, I don't know if you was in the back room or not, but I said what I thought it was, and I believe one agreed with me on that. You know, I think one country just started all this BS, and a certain person had to come to his help, or he would be exposed to all the shit that he
Oh
has.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah, but it's not just us.
Well, that's true. It's not just
I
us.
mean, we
But
gave
yeah,
them the most amount of money, but
exactly.
there's so many other countries that are just tossing money and equipment. And I mean, and there's the other part that says, what if he's doing it? What if this is all deployed to raise the gas, the oil prices? Who's making money on this right now?
Oh hell.
Russia's making buku bucks now. The oil company, they're like last year, everybody was complaining about the shipping companies making a lot of money because of the pandemic. Now it flipped, and now the oil companies are making buku bucks.
Yeah, no doubt.
There's so much stuff it could be, and we may never even know what all is going behind the scenes.
I would like for somebody to get up and find out how many countries is back in Ukraine and how much they
Oh,
are. I mean, Ukraine is getting, because even with us, what, 40 billion? I mean, that ain't even half of it, I don't think.
oh no! Like I said, it was, what was it, 8 billion first, and then the 40 billion, and then it's 7 billion a month.
A month?
Yep, you don't hear that part. There's also 7 billion that goes to Ukraine every month until this is over.
God Almighty. Well, hell, in that case, it may not never be over.
Well, with all this money, they could just buy their country.
Yeah, no
You know what I
kidding.
mean?
I mean, damn, it'd be nice to have your own little country, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I mean, there is a lot of money getting, and it's just not that money. Um, like I said, it takes years to replace this um, equipment, and one thing is millions of dollars, and that doesn't, like I said, that doesn't count the money that they sent, which I don't know where this money, what they're using the money for or whatnot, but
Sound like to me somebody lining some deep ass pockets.
yeah.
Hello, Terry Christ, lively prepper. Moveda, I can't pronounce that name. I'm sorry. Welcome to the show. We have Bushcraft and myself have sat back and talked about instead of going live at 3 o'clock, we're gonna start doing it at 7 o'clock. Bushcraft show is on Tuesdays and mine is on Thursdays. So I apologize, Bushcraft.
Oh, what for?
I read in chat a little bit ago what's going on, and I thought I'd go ahead and explain it. I'll probably explain it again before we sign off. So, but damn, that kind of blew my shit slap out of the water there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Harvest Berry, that's where my son's at over in Germany.
We got me and the wife, we have a friend who was born and raised in Germany and she lives here. And we kind of pick her brain of how Germany is and how she was raised up and everything. I tell you what, I love talking to people that is from other countries.
Oh, yeah.
You can learn a lot.
Yeah, they want me to come over for a week or so, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know if I don't have to get, which they do until they, you have to get juiced to get in over there.
Well, now you can get you some cardboard and tape them to your arms, and you can fly like that.
Yeah, I don't think you get too far.
What? Maybe about 2 or 3 inches.
Probably.
Me and my brother, as we was coming up, you know how you would take a cape and wrap it around your neck, and run around the yard, and you think you fly. Well, we had a barn out there, had hayloft. I talked him into that he could fly, and he has to take off running and jump out the hayloft. Well, he didn't fly. He looked up at me and I said, evidently that one was a dud.
Yep, Barb. Last year, my son was in Kuwait. Yeah, that you're only supposed to get deployed every so often, and yeah, he's been deployed quite a bit, as much as he's been in. And he went and re-enlisted too. So,
my theory is they tell you that to get you in there, and once you get in there, you're the property of the government. You do what you're told.
Yeah.
Copycat. She just said she got a notification of a dust storm, and she lives in Arizona.
Oh, I used to hate those. Those big walls of dust come at you.
Is it like they show in the movies when it's coming after you?
Yeah, pretty much. When it's in season and big, and you can't see anything. If you're outside, it's and not to mention inside your house, you have to clean up dust for. It's a mess.
Well, now I've never been through one or anything like that, but I have always heard when one comes up, you got to turn your AC off or your heater to keep it from blowing inside.
They got swamp coolers. Well, some places have a air conditioner, but a lot of them have swamp coolers. You actually have to, if you catch it in time, you put a big garbage bag over your swamp cooler if you got access to it. If not, it'll clog up your filters and stuff in there.
I reckon one of the topics that went with my thumbnail, are you ready?
Yeah.
If, and I know y'all have heard this time and time again, but if shit was to hit the fan, let's say tonight or tomorrow, do y'all have enough to survive a month, 6 months, or a year? I know there are some families out there, like Bushcraft said, that's all they do is buy this and buy that. It's probably from the floor to the ceiling and everything. They don't know how to use it. And they consider themselves a prepper. And, I told them just because you have it don't necessarily mean you're a prepper. You got to learn how to, let's say, start a fire with wet wood, especially during the wintertime. How to start a fire without a lot of smoke. Whatever y'all got, make sure you know how to use that. It's like,
And you get all these little fancy things,
yeah.
but just to say you had them, but you don't know how to use them.
Now that right there, you can tell I've used it, but not that much. I just wanted to see if I could do it. That's the first one I ever had. That with cotton balls and Vaseline on the cotton balls, outstanding. It'll burn for a couple of minutes, enough to get you some small twigs burning and so forth.
The best thing one of these days I got to make these again. But I get dryer lint and I'll roll it in my hands like this until I make like a string out of it, and then I take two of those or three, whatever the case may be, and I'll braid it. And toward the middle of it, I'll smear Vaseline on it, and then on top of that, I pour wax over top of it. That way, it all stays within that long string. And I have a little bottle about yay big that has those in there. And if I need to start a fire, I just pull that out and I bend it a little bit to where it exposes that Vaseline, and just one little spark, and that thing will light up for a good bit of time.
Well, now I think the bow drill I've never done, and the one where you can take a little bit of lint and put it between two boards and catch something on fire. Let's say dryer lint. I've not done that. I want to try that.
Yeah, that's usually what they use with the bamboo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, go ahead.
I've done that. I'd rather do a bow drill, but that if you have a good one, the thing is, you need to know which wood for your spindle and which one for your board, because if one is hard and it's supposed to be the soft one, and one is soft, then you're spinning wheels there.
I mean, I thought before all this started, okay, I thought I knew a lot. Then I started watching videos, and there's a bunch of stuff. I said, I need to try that. And look, a lot of this shit is not as easy as these videos make it out to be.
Oh no, just like the start with a bow drill. That's hard.
They
And
said,
I've done it multiple times, but you could have the perfect setup that you've already used 3 or 4 times, and try it, and it could just be the humidity's up or the humidity's down, and it just makes it that much harder, and you won't get a fire. So
they said
that's why you have multiple ways to start a fire.
multiple backups. A cigarette lighter, a bic. That's the best thing you can
Yeah,
do. You know,
but you don't want to use that
oh,
unless you have to, because once the lighter's done,
it's
you
gone.
can't start a fire with it. Well, you can, but you can't start a fire with it. Once
Well,
that
now
fuel's gone, then it's useless.
that's true. But
So you use a ferrocene rod, but then it's a ferrocene rod. Eventually, you're gonna use it up. It's a resource, so you have to think about everything that you use as a resource.
yeah,
What's the least amount of resource to make that fire? Now, if you're just going outside,
duct tape.
uh, camping or something, yeah, a lighter or something.
Yeah.
That's the whole idea, is you got to think it as a resource. What's the least amount, and would be a bow drill, because you go out and get the stuff in the woods, if you're in the woods, rather.
Shanoa, you have a good evening, look, girl. Now, just because your cigarette lighter runs out of fluid, don't necessarily mean you have to throw it away
Oh
because
no,
spark from it.
yeah,
I mean,
it's got a flint,
yeah,
which is a
and
ferrocene rod, a little
really,
bitty one.
yeah,
Plus, you can carve the plastic on the side, um, for a fire starter, or
yeah,
for a little kindling to get it going good.
yeah. And White Life also said, well, let me put it up on screen. Wait a minute,
Yeah.
that's the wrong one. A 9-volt battery, or a battery with like the wool
Yeah,
soap pads.
steel wool.
Yeah, I'd fire it up in a heartbeat.
Oh yeah, but that's a resource though.
Yeah, it is.
You wouldn't want to use that if you knew crap is going to be bad for 20 years or 10 years. You wouldn't want to go and use all of your lighters and your batteries and stuff like that right up. So you would want to try to use it sparingly.
Right. And okay, let's move to the food part. And I'm going to use this as an example. A number 10 can of macaroni and cheese, or let's just say number 10 can of macaroni. All right. Once you open it, and the Bear Bush show, really? Okay. If you don't hurry up and use that up, it's going to go stale and it's going to get buggy. I'm not going to say do this with everything you got, but if you got a vacuum sealer, go ahead and break a couple of them cans down, or put them in a couple of pint jars, just enough for you and your mate, or however many people you got there, like that. Water will be the number one item
Mm-hmm.
that
Yep.
you need. regardless. You better know how to filter your water out of straw, coal, rock. That's one way. But the what they're selling now, God, I hate this place. I'm gonna say at Walmart, they got what they call a life straw. Well,
Yeah.
they show you that you can drink right out of the creek with it. Okay, don't do that. Get you something that will hold water that you can boil the water in, because there is bacteria that life straw will not take care of.
Yeah, and that's another thing is that the resource. Because if you keep drinking out of that straw, eventually it's going to clog up because they don't. It's a temporary thing. You can maybe get a gallon out of clean water out of that thing.
I thought it was 10,000. The one I got said
10,000 gallons?
Yeah, that's
Oh
what mine
no,
said.
no.
I'm gonna have to break mine out of the car and check it
Yeah,
out because
they don't. Yeah, soon as that you start sucking water out of a creek, you get lucky, you get over a gallon out of those things. There's the ones from
if anybody in
that
chat
big
has got one in hand,
silver thing. I can't remember the name of it now. Berkey.
oh, yeah.
You get the ones from Berkey, they'll last quite a bit, but still.
I don't have that type of money.
Yeah.
You know,
They don't. Now, if the water is filtered and then you use it, yes. But if you don't filter that water, which that's what it's supposed to be, they don't last that long. There's I
I
can't
was
remember
right. Bob Sawyer. He says that his one says 10,000
Yeah.
gallons.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. If it's clean water, you can suck through that thing for 10,000 gallons. But you're going in a pond or a river, you're sucking up other stuff. And because the video they it's almost like Mythbusters. They go out and find things and prove it wrong.
Okay.
And they got the actual life straw. They got a gallon in something else out of it before it was clogged and wasn't working. And it was just it was not a real muddy river or anything like that. It was just a regular river, and they got the water out of it and they poured it through for the experiment. They poured it through and let it come through. They tested the water and everything, and it was okay to drink. But after that settlement and all that stuff went through it, it was clogged. And that was an actual life straw. Sell that over there.
Well, now I got something else too. For everyone in chat, if you have a well that is above ground, give me a 1 in chat.
A well above ground?
Yeah. I mean, where you can access the water above the ground
okay.
like that. Or
I
whatever.
was gonna say, what kind of well is that?
Because what it is, and I saw another YouTuber do this. Get you a PVC pipe or something like that will fit down inside that well. But now you got to remember, for however deep that well is, it's going to be tiresome pulling water back out. Put you a cap on it. Don't use no PVC glue or nothing like that. Just get it on there. Make sure it's good and tight. And then drop it down the well. Get you some water out of it. Because when the power goes down, That's going to be your only source. I don't
Yeah,
care if you're on city, on well, or whatever. That power goes, your water's gone.
it all depends how deep it is, though, because
True.
you can't pull. Um, there's a ratio because I had somebody explain it to me.
Do it like he
Um,
did back in the
like if it's
1800s.
250 feet down, by the time if you fill a pipe up all the way to the top, how much water does that pipe hold? Poundage, pressure. How many pounds does it hold to pull a pipe 250 feet down full of water up to you? And they have pumps to do that, which are the big pumps, the big um, well pumps that you stick in there, and it's not a 110, so you can't hook up your 110. You have to have a bigger generator to pull those up.
True. True. Uh, Let me back up for a minute. Nose picking is it comes down to this right here. A creek nowadays, before I drink water out of a creek, it would have to be boiled.
Well,
Yeah, I mean that's me.
plus you want to know where it's coming from.
True.
You don't know what's uphill.
You don't want it coming through a bunch of cattle
Yeah,
or
or
a pig farm.
there's this you know who Survivor Man is, don't you?
Yeah.
Les Stroud. Well, he tells a story about a couple fellows were out in the woods, and one was ahead of the other guy upstream a bit, and he's up there taking a leak in the river, and downstream a little bit was the other guy, and he was down there drinking away. And he says you never know what's upstream.
Exactly.
He said
It
it
could.
better, but that's pretty much the gist of it.
Hello, Firefly. Well, it could be worse. It could be a horse pissing in the stream. I
Well,
mean,
the thing of it is, um, he found the water, but he walked upstream and found dead sheep in the water. And he says, if I would have drank that down there, chances are I wouldn't survive this outing that he was on.
yeah.
And
I
it
mean,
was bad dead sheep.
uh, learn how to purify your water. There
Yeah.
is countless streams on YouTube on how to do it. After you get to watching 5, 6, or more, you can see who's legit and who's not legit. You know,
and do it,
yeah.
practice it.
Don't just have the knowledge, do it. Gee.
Oh yeah, any more unless um unless I seen it coming out of the mountain. Even then, I would go above the mountain and see, or the hill or whatever, because there's natural springs all over the place, but you want to make sure there's nothing dumping into that natural spring.
Boy, you are so right, what life.
Oh yeah, you can get that if
Yeah,
you're down river bottom level. You can get 25 feet of pipe and drive your own well
yeah,
pretty easy. Bush Radical and his wife do it all the time.
Well, I was
Actually,
reaching,
she just did one, and it was like 20 feet deep and got water. Now it won't hold that much, but because it's only 20 feet, but still, there's a lot of water in 20 feet.
now there was one that I seen, the pump, little red pump that screws down on the pipe that you have to raise
Yeah,
up. Now,
yeah.
them are good to have. You don't have to have electricity to pull water with, but
You have to have
remember,
water.
yeah, you got to prime it in order to get water.
And I've seen a lot of people fail at this. Um, One I won't mention his name, but because I can't remember, it's 92 something. It's a number thing, but I can't remember it. He he got it in there and he put water in it and trying to get water out of it. The thing is, you got to take that whole pump and stick it in a 5-gallon bucket of water and let it set there for at least an hour. The reason you let it set there is for that because it's not rubber, it's leather inside there,
Yep.
and it's got to absorb water because if not, it won't connect. It won't make a seal to suck that water up.
Lisa Anderson, you let me catch a hog in my garden. That ham will be coming from the garden, guaranteed. But
Got this
now,
dang gnat won't leave me alone.
tell me about it. And now, bushcraft, I know you got a lot of skills up underneath your belt. Is there anything else that you can think of right off the bat?
Mm, Just a lot of time, because when I first did my channel, I did a lot of challenges and stuff for people to do. And one of them was because I was curious how much water people have. And a lot of times they'll say, well, we've got 10 cases of water or something like that. Um, or we have a swimming pool. And swim pools are fine, but unless you have a way to filter that water is because you put chemicals in it. It's actually toxic to drink.
It is.
Yeah, and unless you have a filtering system, and I'm not talking about the filter that takes out leaves of your pool and stuff like that. That's not the filter I'm talking about. I talked about this with Heroic Prepper, but his house he has a filtering system in his house because of New Jersey water. So I said it'd be real cool if you uh, set up a way to where you could hook up your swim pool water if you had to, and like a tea or something to go into your house. That way you would filter that water that came from your pool, and your family would have clean water.
Now, wait a minute. You just come up with a good idea. Let's say you did tap into your swimming pool and run the to your house. What type of filter would a person need to filter out all that stuff?
Well, same filter that he uses for to filter his city water. It takes out all the icky stuff
Add
and the
chlorine
chemicals.
and
Yeah, I think he said he's got the 3 filter um, system
okay. Now I
because
know
a
I got
lot
two filters.
a lot of well each one takes out a certain thing. I can't remember exactly which ones they are or anything like that. But a
Okay.
lot of people that have city water and stuff, I don't drink it. But I'm not going to spend a lot of money to get a filtering system for this house because I don't want to. I don't want to live here. Get you stupid gnat. So I just go get a 5-gallon bucket of, or not a bucket, but um, clear bottles of water.
Oh, okay.
Um,
To
the
me,
little, and the thing is, for me, it acts as two. Well, actually, I get more uses out of it than just the water, because I got a container that when I get done drinking the water, I fill back up, and on Amazon I went and got lids that seal it. So when I get done drinking the water, I fill it up with the city water, which I would filter and boil whenever I would need to use it. Um, but I fill up, so I have a 5-gallon every time I drink one. I've got another 5 gallons that I can store long term. And once I get too many of them, what I'm going to be doing is cutting the top off of it and drilling holes in it and use it for planting for my garden, a container.
well, now my house is set up with a double filter. I got one coming straight out of the well, and I got another one which is up underneath the house.
Oh, okay.
And to me, pool water is only good for one thing. That's to flush your commodes with. You know, I'm going to say something. I don't want to offend nobody, but who is TJ Katz? That's about the fourth time I've seen that name.
I've seen them around quite a bit.
Okay. But I mean, the one of the filters I got is high dollar, and it's because I want it to be.
Yeah.
The time it gets to the house,
Those filters are expensive.
man,
the
you ain't kidding.
ceramic filters.
Yes, that's what I was talking about. I think that one ceramic filter I got's about $60 some, and I change it out something like about every 3 months.
Yeah,
Oh,
you know why you change it out, don't you?
iron,
Yeah,
my
and that's
iron.
what I was getting to with that the little life straws. It's the same thing, but your well water is cleaner than you would get out of a stream.
Yeah,
So all that
definitely.
sediment and stuff clogs those things up really quick.
TJ Katz, if I offended you, I apologize to you. But this is the first time I've seen you in my chat. And after I said that, there's a bunch of people in here who do know you. So I apologize if I offended you. I mean, it's once you learn how to do something, keep on looking because there is always ways to improve what you've learned, you know. And 2 liter plastic bottle, get you some charcoal, some straw, rocks. Each time you run it through, it gets clearer and clearer. But just because you got clear water, again,
Boil it
boil.
anyway. Yeah. Yeah, whenever I did that thing about my bug out bag, what's in my bug out bag, whatever it was, I had another YouTuber say how bad it was and this and that, and um, I just said, okay, thanks for letting me know and whatnot. So I started watching this guy, and his one of the first things I found that he did that I disagree on was, and this is, everybody has their own way, but um, he well, one thing, he showed everybody his prep room. Mind you, I said prep room. He had all of his food on one side of the wall. It was a pretty good sized room. He had his bug out bags, his his nicely lined up pew pew things. He had his cans of ammo and whatnot. Everything in that one room. And I come in and I've said, I hope you don't have everything in that room. Yeah, why wouldn't I have? It's all locked up and safe and everything. And I said, well, what happens if a fire starts on that end of the house and stuff? Or somebody breaks in and they come from that direction.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is set in one room. Lightning strikes. Boom, all of your preps, all your survival stuff, and all that stuff is in one room. Not only did he show everybody all of his stuff, which there are some people that do that. They'll show everybody everything that they have, which that's up to them. But everything was in that one room, and I tried to explain it in a nice way, but he didn't get it.
Well, I think it was a couple of channels that I follow, and I'm not going to mention the channels right now, but they said the exact same thing as you did. I got sitting there, I got to thinking about it, and there was another creator who explained to me why you don't put everything in one room.
Mm-hmm.
And you do not have everything at your house just because, let's say, you get raided, you have to run, you put some stuff in one location to get you to another location. That way you can pick up more stuff.
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
it.
right here in the chat now, how many people here have so canned food under or preps under their bed?
Oh, no, I don't. Not under my
Oh, you
bed.
don't?
Not under my bed.
Well, that's a perfect spot. I mean, it's a wasted space if you unless your bed's flat on the ground. You know, there are some beds that there's nothing under the bed, but
Exactly.
I store a bunch of canned goods under my bed. Plus, I have it like all over the different places in the house, different rooms.
Depending on the weather, depends on what I have inside and outside and in other variable places. Okay.
Yeah. Now, I have places where I would go if I couldn't be here no more in this house. I've went to these places and I've dug holes and put 5-gallon buckets and buried it to where I know where that's at.
Yeah.
And my kids know where that's at. So I
But
get my bug out bag, which has enough stuff for a few days, and then I get to that spot and I'd have more.
no speaking, me and you on the same line with that one. But let me say something to follow up what Bushcraft just said. He went out and done all that, but I'll bet you it's like this too. He done it thinking, what happens if I got to run on foot? I can't do this by car. You know, y'all think about that. Cars ain't going to be running because if they are, you got a big damn target on you,
Oh yeah.
you know. And nighttime, you know, sometimes some ass is going to be out there in a vehicle with their headlights on.
Oh, there'll be people out there with flashlights
Yeah.
walking down the street. Yeah.
Stay off the streets, stay off the main path. You know, I mean,
Lively no comment on that. No, I don't own it, but I know the people who do, and they're not up here. They live elsewhere, and it's, yeah, I'll just put it that way.
well, I'm like this. What other people don't know won't hurt them and won't hurt me.
Yeah, like if I own, like the property I looked at, if I had that, I wouldn't keep all my stuff in one location. I would have stashes throughout the area. And your stashes don't have to be that much money involved in it. A 5-gallon bucket, a bag of rice, a bag of beans, water, ways of starting a fire or something like that. And then you could also have stashes of pew pew candy.
Yeah.
But that has to be a little bit different done because moisture, and that's metal,
Yeah. Well,
that kind of stuff.
TJ Katz, I'm in the same boat with you. I am 61. I'm not going to go into details, but I cannot run like I used to. I'm out of breath a whole lot more. I will stand and I will fight my ground. And in the long run, I know I'm going to lose. But it just comes down to this. How many is going to join me?
Yeah,
And I'll leave that alone.
Like I said, I don't have any property other than this right now, but I
I will come up.
you can go to places. I'm not telling people to do this, but you can go to places in your county and you can get records, and you can find out a lot of things things from those records. Certain properties that have been in people's families for ages, and they don't live there anymore, and they just keep it in the family. Stuff got real bad. If those people are down in Florida and I'm up here, big property like that, I would set up
Yes,
camp
Susie D. Susie D at least once a month, if not more.
Oh yeah, clean.
Yeah.
It's expensive to use them once a month, but clean, yeah.
Unless you got a revolver. Shit. I shouldn't have said it that.
No, that could be multiple things. So,
But I mean, I was going to ask you to say something. I don't forgot what it was. See, that's one thing that comes with old age: forgetfulness. But ladies and gentlemen of YouTube land, We have run our mark of an hour. Next Tuesday at 7 o'clock, we will be up on Bushcraft's channel.
I just seen something very interesting. Sorry, I have to show this real quick.
Go ahead.
Here, let's see if I can get it. Share screen.
Oh,
Yeah, down below.
That's a hint for me to share.
You can barely read this, but this is from his Potato Head speech.
Oh,
it's telling him what to do, basically. One part's you take your seat, please. It's telling him take a seat. Don't talk about this. They have to tell him to do everything.
That.
Firefly said you didn't answer her question.
Okay, Firefly, what was the question again, please? What? Be charming.
I don't know, it's farther than I can see. Hard to say with him. It's probably his it's chocolate pudding. I was sitting there going through Twitter and that popped up.
Let me go back through and see if I can't find what she's asked me. I'm sitting on the back 40. Oh, yeah. Bluegrass Sweetheart. Hello, lady. Welcome. Damn, now I done forgot it.
Oh, do you feel that having a positive attitude is a good prep? Oh, yeah.
Oh, definitely. God, yes. Definitely.
Because once you get in that negative vibe, negativity is one of the worst things.
Because one negative person can bring a whole group down.
Oh, yeah.
You know, because if, let's say, Bushcraft is a leader and he says something wrong, that negative person is going to use that against him to turn a lot of people. And there is
my last video
stuff I really cannot say how to deal with on that.
If it was a link, it probably got put in the naughty room. No, I don't see it. You talking about the pandemic video I did? Which I can't wait to find out what pandemic we're going to have next.
Pandemic, no more Biden. Everybody
no,
love
he's
that.
The one that said it. We're going to have he needs money for our next pandemic. Not like predicting or anything. It's just our next pandemic.
Cheshire, that is one thing I can't talk about on here. The only thing I can say is this right here. Each mag will have to make up their own set of rules.
Yeah.
And I am about 90% positive that's going to be brought up
Yeah, we touched on this
a while back ago.
before very carefully.
Yeah. And the way my mouth is, I prefer to stay away from it.
Yeah, because there in everything there's going to be bad no matter what. So it's
Exactly.
how does that group deal with that? The thief or whatever, and does the whole family leave, or just the one element in that family leaves? It's or do you even let them leave? That's a whole
Different
yeah.
scenario.
That's something a group has to sit down and hash out before anything happens.
Camo Carl, email me. Yeah, damn. There's like I said, each mag group is going to have their own set of rules. You know, depending on the group you're with, going to depend on what you're going to do. And be very, very careful when you go out trying to find one. There is questions you really truly need to answer. Like one of the questions is this right here. I don't care what group it is. I think if a person comes in, he or she needs to have a mate. Don't let just one person come in and stay, because something will go wrong with that later on.
Well,
think about
it. Because that's well, I've said this before. I kind of had an interview with somebody, and they asked if I was married or if I had somebody else, and I said no. And oh, that's a problem. We don't want our wives hooking up with you.
What?
And there'll be then there'll be turmoil within the group. And I said, well, aren't you secure with your spouse and everything?
We'll have talking about
if he was worried, if he's that worried already before that had happened, I don't want in that group anyway, because that's always going to be in their mind. Oh, is my wife sneaking off with this guy? You know what I mean?
Well,
he's already got that jealous bug, and it's not even a thing yet.
okay, but if it does become a thing, there's going to be some things that one person does that the mate's not going to like it, and it's going to keep on. But yet, it has to be done, and she's going to get pissed about it, or he will get pissed about it.
Well, that's life, though. There's single people and there's married people. If the marriage is not strong, it's going to happen in a shift or without one. You know what I mean? If you're already insecure enough to where you think that your wife is going to mess around, then there's something wrong with that marriage. You know what I mean? Already.
Well, yeah. Nose picking to begin with, I wouldn't bury no metal cans. You know, and I wouldn't try to bury nothing that's metal. Good evening, ER.
Hey, you are.
It's all right. I'm gonna go ahead and call it about an hour and a quarter.
Oh,
Here.
yeah. We went on a little bit more.
Yeah. So, like I said, Tuesday nights on Bushcraft's channel at
Yeah.
7 p.m. and on my channel on Thursdays at 7 p.m. We've kind of given everybody a chance to eat, calm down, relax, and everything.
Yeah.
So, all right. It's nice having y'all. And till next time, bye.